Nice.
Hi there. Oh my god.
Are you on your way somewhere?
I don't know. You actually
Oh, okay.
fucking wizardly stick. I can't believe that.
Didn't expect to see a dick this evening, that's for sure.
Yeah, because we saw a dick. Sorry? That guy leave? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. Like, we were done and he just came in. Like,
I could hear you being like, yeah, we're trying to do this interview.
Cheers. Alright, dude. When did I meet you for the first time? No, at the tea room.
At the tea room, yeah.
Okay, yeah, long time ago. Where does your name Narda comes from?
Okay, Narda came when I started looking to have this DJ YouTube channel. I started trying to DJ with a pair of decks and I was really excited about getting things started. I was mixing all the time.
I think I've seen a couple of your videos.
Yeah, so this YouTube thing was just coming up. My first video is still there where I recorded that with a laptop camera. So I needed a name for this thing and a logo as well. So I had a friend who, we were brainstorming a little bit. He made a Napster logo and eventually we settled on Narda because it's like Adrian backwards. Adrian, my name, Narda, you take out the I. Yeah,
Okay.
Narda, I don't know if I like that one, so I stick to Narda. And then I found out a lot of things later, like they name shampoo Narda now.
Really?
And there's also a transistor that came out recently. I found this all out by searching Narda on VK, Russian social media, just because they post my stuff from time to time. It gives me an ego boost.
Nice. You gotta send me the link of that. I want to check it out.
All right.
Yeah.
Mostly shampoo.
Mostly shampoo.
Yeah, you need to troll through a lot of that.
Okay, which artists do you identify the most with?
I don't think I identify with any artist. I'm not someone who tries to be someone else. Kind of did when I started.
Okay.
When I was discovering what Jack in House, Chicago House was, and I was listening to mixes from Mark Farina, some YouTube DJs also were playing that kind of stuff, most notably Senor.
But these guys inspired you.
Yeah.
Okay. Do they
Partly,
still do?
but especially my production, because I was trying to make that stuff that I was feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I was really enjoying that funky vibe of Jack in House that has plenty of swing that I didn't realize existed until a couple of years into my production experience. So I was trying to make funky music without any of that swing. Didn't quite work out.
No?
Yeah, I had some ideas, but it wasn't quite there. I also was trying to think about making that kind of music without sampling, using guitars and instruments, and it just wasn't sounding right. So
Do you play guitar or any instruments?
yeah, I've been playing guitar since I was like 5.
Oh, so you play well then.
Yeah, I was classically trained, and I got up to level 5 through theory and guitar before I had to stop because the workload got too much between school and guitar.
Is there any way you can fit that classical into your music right now? Or
Yeah, I've made some sketches over the years, but never released anything. There was an interesting beat I have that I should finish that has this classical guitar. I've actually sampled that one, but there was a guitar teacher of mine, name was Grigorian, and his sons were pretty popular guitarists. They still tour the world. I picked up their album just for the hell of it, just to listen to what they're composing, and I sliced up some sections that I thought were interesting to play with. I put that into Ableton, did a few cutting things, made a classical house music track, and never saw the light of day.
Is there any artists of the label that you would like to collaborate with, or that you think they stand out? Of Brash Beats, of course.
That A21 is definitely worth collaborating with.
Yeah, we need to collaborate, man.
Yeah.
It'll be like, I think, well, we've already have, but I think we need to give it another go.
It was almost like a virtual thing that we did as well. We kind of hang out in the studio just a little bit, then you went off to do your own thing with this beat that Ben and I made.
Yeah, but I guess it'd be good, because I've told you before, I'm just really bad at socially, like physically collaborating.
Yes.
But I want to get over that fence. And
is it self-judgment that makes you unsure about collaborating in person?
Could be that, yeah. It's just some ideas that I have, I feel like when I want to lay them out would be too long to get to where I want them to be, so it would be hard to show. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I know what that's like when when I've tried collaborating with people who don't produce very well or at all, then they are so confused why it takes so long to get something that sounds decent.
Yeah.
And then they might say something like, "Oh, it doesn't sound good." Like, wait.
Yeah.
You know,
give it a second.
Give me half an hour. This is gonna blow your mind.
Yeah. I just need to twist this FM knob to the right point
Yeah.
for 20 more minutes.
Just these little things that make a difference, but
Exactly.
no one's gonna notice. So it's different when you work with people who have actual experience in producing, who've been doing it for years, that you can actually collaborate with them properly, and they have that patience that, okay, you know that it takes a certain amount of time to get something sounding good.
They expect that.
Yeah, it's almost unexpected that you can get things done quickly. So when you do, it's almost like even more fun.
Yeah.
And you don't get that with people who don't know.
Yeah.
So I first really experienced that with Carlo, Double C. I produced with him for a couple of years.
You gotta send me this name so I can put them on the screen.
Okay, DBL-C. And he quit music a couple of years ago.
Oh no.
Yeah, he just spontaneously said, "This is all over, I'm not happy with anything I've made, I'm just gonna quit." After he made such an effort to make it in house music.
Was he good? Did you like what he did?
Yeah, he made really solid tech house music. It was almost like a breakup, but then I found another artist called Tonis in New York, and we hit it off kind of the first few sessions, just discovering what kind of music we like. We found a common ground in Jack in House, and I could show the tracks from 12 years ago that I was DJing at the time, and he would be like, "Oh, that's actually quite good." So we
guys
went that direction in a few tracks.
Okay. Do you guys call each other when you're producing, or is it a ping pong email kind of thing?
We have a method that is kind of evolved. So we have a connection over Ableton for the direct link to the sound that comes out from the door. We talk to each other over video sharing conference call software. So I can see the screen, I can control his screen just like it's my screen, and he controls his because it's his laptop.
Like Teams, say.
Basically like Teams, except much less CPU.
Oh, okay.
Teams and especially Zoom, when I was experimenting with that, you can't produce because it just takes up way too much CPU.
Oh shit, didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, you can make basic stuff, but you want to make real stuff. So we do it separately. We split it between two separate softwares. It works perfectly.
That's
I mean,
brilliant.
it's like you're working on the same computer together, and with the talking, it's like you're in the same room. So
You develop the way.
it's almost like you're in the room with each other, except in the room you don't fight over the screen, fight over the mouse at the same
Yeah.
time. It's got that benefit as well.
That's so nice. How did you find about Brash Beats?
Brash Beats. Well, some guy called Gonzalo showed me this thing. We went to a gig for Brash Beats, met the crew, and danced the night away. This all came because I heard Skeptic a long time ago.
Oh yeah, that's how we met then.
Yeah.
Did you reach out?
I reached out after hearing Skeptic, and I think I must have sent you a message saying that Simon Dunmore charted your track or something like that.
Right.
I think I heard it when it originally came out, because I'm a massive hipster like that.
And plus the label is Australian, so you might have.
No,
Not really.
No
There's
idea.
not a connection
I
to
didn't even
there.
know.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You're in the world. As much as you say you're not, but I think you are.
Yeah. I dip in and out of the scene. I really jumped into it last year for sure.
Yeah?
Yeah, last year I think I released more tracks than I ever had before.
How many?
In a year. I think it was around 23 tracks
Oh, that's pretty
over
good.
the course of the year.
Shit.
It's almost once every 2 weeks, which is about the ratio Tonis and I were finishing tracks.
So practically every track that you finished was signed.
Just about, and some old stuff too.
Okay, this question I think is a good question for you because you've DJ your fair bit, haven't you?
Yeah.
Which has been your best performance?
That's an impossible question.
Is it?
I think one of my favorite gigs would just be the whole Delta Fest saga that was between 2010 and 2017. Just about every year I went to middle of nowhere in Croatia. It was kind of close to Dubrovnik, right next to the border with Bosnia. We would hang out. This guy Martin, he brought all of the Chicago house DJs of Croatia and some of the surrounding area just to meet in one spot, so we'd just all be there.
That's so fun.
Because small scene, music that almost no one knows about, and here we are. And he'd bring someone from really far overseas. And I was 16 at the time of my first gig. This was my first gig.
This was your first gig in Croatia. You were living here though.
I was living in Croatia.
Oh, you were living in Croatia.
I was still a teenager in Croatia.
So boarding school was there, if you don't mind me asking about this.
Boarding school was in England, but before I moved for boarding school, I went to this gig in Delta Fest.
So you lived in Croatia for quite a bit then?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so it's Australia until you're...
Until I was 11. So 94 to 2005. 2005 to 7 was England. So I lived in North London for a couple of years before transitioning to Croatia. And then I was in Croatia for 3 years before I said, this is not for me, move out.
But when you were in Croatia, you were with your family?
Yes.
Okay, so it's, Australia, England, Croatia, England.
Yeah.
But the time you went from Croatia to England, you came by yourself, not with your family?
This time I decided to move away. So boarding school in like Surrey, that kind of area. I was there for a couple of years. It was a great time. I essentially got out of this really difficult time that I was having in Croatia into something a bit more easier while I could be more myself. Because in Croatia I couldn't be myself. I had difficulty expressing myself in a second language, which I hardly knew.
Okay, that makes sense.
I speak Croatian better now than when I lived there.
Oh, really?
It just took some time to settle in.
Yeah.
So now I actually can speak, but it was not feeling good while I was there. My best friends were those that would speak English with me, and most of my time would be on the internet, actually, just trying to make this DJ thing happen. I'd be making live sets on Blog TV. I'd be networking around this Chicago house scene. I was essentially doing social media very right, by being this really lonely kid.
I can relate to that.
My social media was perfect, but then I ended up having more of a social life when I moved away, and that came to the detriment of my DJing.
Yeah, suddenly everybody speaks English. It's easier to live like this.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And I could express myself, just develop my personality, and it was suddenly a real blow to releasing tracks, DJing. I DJ'd, you could almost count on your hand how many times I DJ a year. It wasn't...
Oh, really?
It wasn't right,
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't all doom and gloom in Croatia either. There were definitely positives. I had, great time in some cases, but in general, it was difficult. That was a thing, and it suddenly became easy. A weight was lifted. These things which I almost felt like I was using music as an escape for, I would suddenly not need that anymore. I wouldn't need that musical escape quite as much. I was loving the music still, but the scene was dying simultaneously, and less good music of that genre was coming out, and it basically died out somewhere around 2013. Nothing was, but I already had a wide range of house music taste by that point and could pivot to wherever. So I expanded from all kind of sides. I had my tech house stuff. I had drum and bass eventually. I was making some liquid drum and bass from time to time, listening to a lot of different stuff.
That's pretty crazy, dude. So where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, I don't see myself anywhere in 5 years. 5 years ago, I'd have no idea what I'm doing today. I thought I would vaguely have a career, which I guess I do.
You do?
I have a career outside music, particularly in data science, which I have a massive passion for. It's not a day job that I hate, that I dream to do music on the side. I really love doing this work and developing myself increasingly in these skills. That's what I've been doing for the past 5 years, intensely. But music on top was always a thing, and especially when work got slightly less stressful and I could think about other things, music would be something that I would want to build on. What really helped with that was finding other like-minded producers to collaborate with. and collaborating with people who are also good producers is a joy. It's, to me, the ultimate form of hanging out is
Making
music together with someone who can do it with you. Yeah, I think it's really nice to have that creative outlet together. So that's why my upcoming trip to New York is actually to meet this guy I've been making music with for almost 2 years now.
It's very important, right?
So bizarre. We've been on these calls. We've made, I don't know, like 20 tracks together, something like that. Never met.
Hi there.
So fucked. Oh my god.
Are you on your way somewhere?
I don't know. It's so ominous. It's like all the way down here.
Yeah.
It's kind of scary.
Nah, mate.
Come on, dude.
You're gonna hurt yourself.
Yeah, you actually.
I won't.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Good. Okay.
I'm gonna hurt myself.
You did better than expected.
Right, do you wanna
2/3.
join in the music conversation?
My friend was literally given like this fucking wizardly stick. He's a groovy bastard. He's a fucking groovy fucking prick. My friend, Irish guy.
Oh shit! I can't believe that.
Didn't expect to see a dick this evening, that's for sure.
Yeah, because we saw a dick. We did see a dick this evening. You probably didn't, but we did. Okay.
Be thankful.
Sorry?
That guy leaves.
Yeah.
It was the craziest thing. Like, we were done, and he just came in. Like,
Right on cue
I
as
just
well.
saw him out of nowhere and I could hear you being like, yeah, we're trying to do this interview.
This is Narda
thanks for watching. Follow him on his socials. It's Narda.
at narda.dj
Narda
on
dot
Instagram.
I'm gonna have it right here anyway. Thank you, and follow and subscribe and unsubscribe and like. Thank you.
Unsubscribe.